And then lo and behold, the number 4 drops on the icon. And I said, guys, either this is going to be the worst April Fool's joke of all time, and they're letting us know that we got 4 hours because they're going to do a countdown before they crash this whole entire thing.
Just kidding.
Hello, how you guys doing out there? My name is Michael Chapman Jr. and I'm here with another video on the topic of P3D. Now this will be my third video that I've done, and I want to specifically talk about the developers of this application, of this platform, because they are doing a tremendous job. And I think that we need to talk about, how they're going to be the ones that are forerunning this crypto evolution per se. Because as we know, those of you guys that are already within this platform, we are currently in a bear market, and P3D seems to be the only smart contract, the only token out there that is still performing, gaining an audience, and the value of the token is continuing to rise. But most importantly, this has to be attributed to the developers of this platform, because they are working hard day in and day out to make sure this platform achieves, and they are very high visible, they are very transparent, and they really work and listen to the audience and the investors of this platform. And so it has to be applauded, it has to be talked about. And so here today I am going to be focusing on that. So those of you guys that are in the Discord for P3D, you were already aware that on April the 1st they would be dropping a major update. Nobody knew how major it was. We didn't know what it was going to be about. And some people were even scared that this major update may hinder this platform. But one of the things that was interesting is that on April the 1st, most of the day was already gone by and we hadn't heard anything. And there were people that, had voiced their opinion about maybe, P3D, the developers need to not, hone in on a particular date, because we've seen this from a lot of ICOs, a lot of projects where they say, hey, we're going to drop a major release, or we're going to do this and do that, open up an exchange. We're going to make all these, grandeur promises. And then when the date comes, they're not even saying anything. They're not even saying, hey guys, we need a couple days. They're not saying anything. And so people were hoping that P3D, Proof of Weak Hands, the developers of this platform, didn't fall into that same cadence of overpromising and under-delivering. But these guys did the exact opposite. And it's interesting because somewhere during the evening time, I was on Discord just looking through the comments, seeing what people were talking about. And then lo and behold, the number 4 drops on the icon. And I said, guys, either this is going to be the worst April Fool's joke of all time, and they're letting us know that we got 4 hours because they're going to do a countdown before they crash this whole entire thing, or these guys are going to be dropping possibly 4 updates. And they delivered. And, so I don't think this guy gets enough credit, but he came out and talked about how this guy worked on and recatched the whole entire catching system, to increase the scalability in a couple days. He had talked about when he was going to start doing it, and this guy hammered it out, reworked all the coding from scratch, and was in the process of updating it. So that was the first thing. And then about 30 minutes to an hour later, he comes back and says, drum roll, and then he starts talking about how they've integrated this platform with the mobile side of things, meaning that iOS and Android could operate and allow people to exchange, do all the transactions right from mobile device. Meaning I don't have to sit there on my computer, at my desk and hitting refresh every 5 minutes to see how many more P3D tokens I've accumulated or how much more dividends I have. I could do that right from my handheld. I can even purchase the P3D tokens right from my handheld. So they show this. They talk about the usability of it, how it'll be working, and they go in great details on this and where you can get it. And then from there, they go and talk about their plans and their future for development. And so they start talking about an additional project that they want to start working on that is going to be more from a serious aspect. Because those of you guys that have already been on the P3D website, you guys know that there's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of humor into it, and it plays light on all the things that we've endured over the past couple of years with the crypto market, high yield investments, and these ICOs that have promised great things, but a lot of them are nowhere to be found as of today. So it did a lot of joking on there, and people even assume that, hey, this is just a joking based platform. So these developers realize their audience and realize, hey, there are people out there that really want to get behind a project that the devs are high visible, they are willing to work, and they're willing to create something that is for the people, and that their plan is for longevity. And so they realize the audience that they get, and so they are continuing to want to create. And so I thought, whenever I read this, I said, well, P3D is pretty new. It's still gaining traction. It hasn't reached their plateau yet. Is this a good thing for them to be announcing they want to come out with another project when this one is still in the works? But then I sat back and I started thinking of it from a realistic standpoint, and it occurred to me when I reread over what's the developer's name with the P3D bot, design dev and meme lead. He came back and he did a quick summary over what Mansa was talking about, and it clicked. And what was it that clicked? Well, is that these guys really have a high EQ. They really understand people and what people want. And he made it known that they want to create another project that is not going to interfere or be in competition of what they're doing, but these guys are looking to make a change to the cryptocurrency ecosystem as a whole. That this project right here, we'll put this in the in the investment category because it pays off dividends. But if I'm thinking from an investor standpoint, well, let's say if nobody else wants to invest in this platform, well, obviously the token value isn't going to go up. But if I'm able to create a currency that has a use case to it, well, then there's a possibility that use case can cause the longevity and for that project to stay alive for a very long time. And we look at projects like Steam, that applications are built on top of it. If these guys are able to get a use case to where their projects is getting used by other projects or other applications, they will have longevity and really change the way, especially if, let me see if I can find it, where the P3D bot, the guy that did the summary, and the guy that's over the design, dev, and the meme lead, he said, happy April 2nd, everyone. By the way, we might have neglected to mention that the new token pays out to P3D holders. You didn't sell, did you? So if they're able to create a use case, a utility token that also pays back in P3D, meaning that they're merging the tokens, or at least the technology that behind the tokens together, then they will have a win-win where the serious investor that needs to see a track record of where this token is going to be used for longevity, and it's not just to bring money and to circulate dividends, but if he can see this thing from a long case scenario, like a Steam, then he's going to be more willing to put even more money into it. Because we all know that, yes, high yield investment platforms can work, they will work, they can be hyped up to work. But in the event that the hype dies down and people aren't vastly putting money into it, well, what is the average person going to do? They're going to say, okay, well, my token is not gaining traction, it's not increasing per dollar rate every single day, so I'm going to pull out of that token and put it to something else that I feel is going to get me more money, is going to get me more ether, if we're still talking about P3D or Ethereum or any kind of Ethereum based contract, because I do believe this project is going to spur other smart contracts to figure out ways to bring in dividends. But if these guys are saying that we are going to create a utility project that is going to pay out P3D, and through that P3D you're still going to be able to receive dividends. These guys are going to create a win-win situation, and hopefully this platform will be able to pay these guys out in a way that they should be for all their hard work and their dedication and their commitment to not only their project but to the people that is invested in it. So I know I kind of got excited when I was talking about this, but we really need to give these guys a round of applause. We really need to realize how much of it is of a fresh air to have developers that actually care about their people. They want to hear what it is that you have to say. If you even go back and read into the update, their announcements, they're even saying, even with us coming out with a new token or a new project, we want to hear what our members think, what they want, so that we can add that in there, because we want to create something that is for the community. And I think that's great. It's somebody that's from, that works with developers and understands the hard work and how communicating with your community is the key to success. I want to say you guys are doing a great job. And hopefully I didn't ramble too much onto this, but I think there's a lot of videos out there where people talking about them making more ether and making more money. But I think we also need to have videos out there that is expressing the importance of having great developers and also talking about what a good job these guys are doing. So hats off from me to you guys that are, working on the P3D token and the future projects. You guys got me. I'm definitely going to, be investing into your future projects, because I believe you guys have what it takes to win and to be the forerunners in this crypto evolution. So with that, my name is Michael Chapman. You guys have a blessed day. I'll catch you guys in the next one.